everyone, it's Claudia, and welcome to Take a Moment to dot dot dot. And that does represent the new topic that I bring to you each and every weekday that I hope will inspire and encourage you to pause for a moment to think about what I'm saying and perhaps even tweak perspective just a little bit. Today is take a moment to plant a seed. Now we look at farmers, and there's seed time and harvest. When they plant the seeds, it takes time for what they plant to grow, and then there's a time to reap the harvest and to take it in and to enjoy the fruit of their labor, either it's for themselves or for the marketplace. Also, if we have to go for an education because we have a good job in mind, a career in mind, that doesn't happen overnight. I mean, most of us start at now it's like pre-K. But when we start school, we have to do the required amount of schooling. But college and after that is up to us, depending on the careers we want. It's not something that happens overnight. And then when we get our degrees, oftentimes we have to start at the bottom of whatever career we have and then work our way up. The same thing is true with our own legacy. I mean, a good reputation is not something that's reaped overnight. We have to plant that legacy, that reputation that we have. People have to come to know to trust us and believe that we are people of our word. So it's important to understand that things take time, especially if they're to come to fruition, if they're to be fruitful, and to help us prosper in the future. There are a few scriptures I want to use today. The first is out of Galatians 6:9. And let us not grow weary of doing good. For in due season we will reap if we do not give up. And that's primary. We should not give up. And it's like, but also in doing good. How often do we get disgusted and we can throw up our hands like, oh, we're always doing the right thing and everybody else seems to get rewarded except me, blah, blah, blah. No, keep your nose to the plow, honestly, and keep doing the right thing. Eventually you will reap what you sow. That's good or bad. And then in James 5:7, it says, be patient, therefore, brothers, until the coming of the Lord. See how the farmer waits for the precious fruits of the earth, being patient about it until it receives the early and late rains. Everything in due season, everything has its time, everything has its purpose. If you, I'm going to go to the caterpillar turning into a butterfly. If we try to help a caterpillar along and we break the cocoon, before it turns into a butterfly, it's going to die. It's not going to turn into a butterfly. It's just a pile of goo. And we kill off the future, and because we don't have the patience to wait. But everything takes time because a caterpillar's DNA is completely changing. So everything is created for that seed time and harvest and to reap what we sow. In Genesis 8:22, while the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. There are cycles, there are seasons. There are seasons in our lives. Sometimes we try to hurry things along in our own lives, but we have to have the patience to wait things out. Sometimes things are difficult and they don't go too easily, but do we have the perseverance to not quit, but to keep going, to know that we will reap eventually of the harvest? And then lastly, in Galatians 6:8, for the one who sows to his own flesh will from the flesh reap corruption, but the one who sows to the Spirit will from the Spirit reap eternal life. Are we going to hurry things along, even in our faith, even with God? When we don't have patience and wait on the Lord, that's our flesh rising up. That's us human beings rising up because we want it now. We don't want to wait. But that generally is something that will not bode well for us in the future. Or are we going to wait on the Spirit, be guided by the Spirit, allow the Lord to work within us, to guide us in every step? He does. Our steps are ordered by the Lord, and He guides every step that we have. Are we going to trust Him, or are we going to try to do things on our own? I have learned when I use the word if this, then that, or I call it eye strength. When I have to step in, that means I'm not trusting God and I'm taking over, and eventually it's going to work for my to my chagrin, not for my prosperity. So today, I encourage you to have that perseverance, have that patience. But when you plant a seed, Keep the goal in mind, what it is you're planting, why you're planting it, and wait for the reaping of that harvest. So today, I encourage you to take a moment to plant a seed.